Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co-hosts, Gerald from TarotStache
Hello.
and Mark, the Spirit Whisperer.
Hello.
We have a treat here for you today. We are going to let me pop this up here. We are going to be doing some readings to bring through messages from your loved ones. And we ask that you kindly put in the name of your loved one and the relation, like if it's your grandmother, Mary, or if it's your brother, Joe. Um, and um, and we'll go ahead and do some readings for your to bring through messages for your loved ones. And I see so many people are here. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Bunny. Hi, Lisa, Donna Marie, Bethany Bank, Ronnie, and Craig Dixon's here. Fogo Pogo, Viviani. Thank you guys for being here. And I am Lulu. Very nice. Carol Berner and Wiki is here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Daniel is here. Hi, Daniel. Denise. Oh, wow. Everybody is here. Prati is here. Blue Crescent. Woo, you see that chat
Dan?
popping, don't you?
Yes.
So I don't know, gentlemen, if either of you have noticed, I've been putting out some shorts with some mediumship readings that I had did in past live shows, and I've
Mm-hmm.
been creating shorts out of them, and just the memory of it, just reliving it one more time, it's really so very impactful to connect with your loved ones on the other side and to bring through those heartfelt messages. It's really quite an honor for sure.
Yes. I agree. That's wonderful. Yeah, I noticed that you were doing some of the more shorts, and I love that. I love that. So,
Yep, it's a lot of fun. And Gerald, what do you have coming up on your show later today?
um, I actually am a guest on the Cool Crone
Oh,
tonight at 7 p.m. And then on Monday, I've got a show with Jane the Secret Tarot. We're doing a deck casual about this deck, the Intuitive City Oracle. And then on Tuesday, I have a show with Medium Betsy Palmer and Jamie. It's a creativity conversation. We're talking about journaling and how journaling helps your creativity. So,
wow.
yes. So, looking forward to
Wonderful. And we're doing mediumship questions today, everybody. If you would like to get a message from a loved one from the other side, please just give us their name and their the relation to you. And I think we're going to go ahead and get started. I have Carol here. And let me just turn off this banner. I always say I feel like I'm on a bus because you see the words going by.
it.
And so Carol wants to get a message from her grandmother, Doris. And all right. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for coming. It's so nice to see you. Aw. Okay. So let's connect with grandmother Doris for Carol. So what we'd like to say is that our intention is that you receive the information that is most important for you to learn and that is in your highest good. And we ask that the angels and spirit guides assist us with bringing through your loved one, and that we work in the love light vibration. So, Carol, I'm getting the feeling of somebody who she seems quite independent in the sense that when she was younger, I don't know if her spouse passed before her, but I do see her as being resilient and independent. Um, it's she's showing me herself driving, she's showing me herself socializing, she's showing me herself um, being independent, making her own decisions and having her own mind. And she would come around and visit and hang out, but she was not a, she also had her own life, if that makes any sense, separate from the rest of the family. Carol, can you let us know if this makes sense to you, just so we know um, if we're making that connection?
I want to add some stuff to this, if I may. Um, I'm wondering if your grandmother Doris, if she was a smoker and she played card games, she liked games, and she also didn't like to cook, but she did. So I'm just curious if that makes any sense. No, she did not drive.
No, she did drive.
No, she did drive. Yes, you're right. Thank you. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So let me just go ahead and did any of that make sense to you? Did any of what I was bringing through, her being independent and sort of having her own life in some way, but she was independent from the family. Um, she was just quite resourceful, and like this was early in life, not close to where she was passing. She's just showing me that she um, was inventive. I don't know if maybe she was. I don't. Yes, she
She
was
was
a
a smoker.
smoker. Yeah. Um, I don't want to. Just generally, I think that she was enterprising. I think that she had a business or a hobby or something that she did regularly that she was involved with. Her husband left her. Okay, so she was independent. Okay, okay. Yeah, I do feel her having a strong personality. Let me go ahead and get a message for you. But she's saying, Carol, you're similar. You don't have to go through what I went through in order to be strong and independent. And she's saying being strong and independent is a blessing for others as much as it is for you. She's saying it's not to exclude others. It's for the benefit of others. It's because others can see you, because you can see her being strong and independent, you now know it's possible for you. So she wants you to be authentic and strong and independent so that others can see that's possible for themselves as well. How about you guys?
She is a smoker, and you nailed it with the very independent. She liked to have a control of her surroundings in a way, and she also was a good connector. She knew who knew how to do something, so she was a bit of a resource for the community, and that really helped her. And she didn't. No one took advantage of her. Good Lord, never. But she was that able to hook people up. Carol, have we talked with her before? It seems familiar to me for some reason. It's she's a really great connector, and a good message is um, seek out people around you, because just because you don't know that somebody, you have to ask if people know how to do something, or if they have any ideas, because you don't get anything if you don't ask. Okay, so we haven't read. But she's encouraging you to check the community around you and the people to see if there may be some ways for you to either get help or to give help.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot, Carol. I'm sorry. I don't know if it has to do with how long she's been gone, but the only thing I got, first of all, I said, "Are you going to come?" She said, "No." It didn't feel like I was going to get anything. And then the only thing I got was that the other side wasn't what she expected, and that there was a little bit of a process about that. That's the only thing I'm picking up. So I don't know if she had some kind of a relationship with religion so that she had a picture and it didn't fit it or something. She's kind of talking about that. But that, I'm sorry, she didn't give me much as far as giving you a message. She didn't seem right there for me today. I don't know why.
No problem. No problem. Thank you very much. And if I just want to make sure that everybody is here. So is KB Kay and the letter B? If you're here, just say hello. And then after K is Cynthia Arnett. And Cynthia, just say hello. And thank you very much, Carol. Carol did an amazing job. Let me just go back and see if I can show you guys, because I know we're on 3 different channels here. Here we are. And Carol was saying no here. I just want to let you guys know that it's important to provide feedback. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of people here. And Carol said yes, her husband left her. And she said yes, that she was a smoker. So it's really, when you're giving feedback like that, it's very helpful to progress the reading, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It helps to support the connection.
Carol later said just recently, looking for gardening advice. Okay, thank you. She's been gone a long time.
Oh, there you go, Mark. There you go.
Yeah.
So is KB here? If KB can say hello. And also Cynthia Arnett, if you can say hello. KB or Cynthia Arnett. There's Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. So let's go with Cynthia. And Cynthia, just stand by and let's connect with Cynthia's mom, Margaret. And KB. Okay, you'll be next, Kay.
Margaret.
I'm getting a very kind soul, very sweet, and she's coming through with very polite, and very minds her P's and Q's, and um, likes to do the right thing. Just really a little bit angelic, and really is just a sweet, sweet woman. And she's like so lovable, and it's like, mom, doesn't anything bother you? And she had a way about her that she didn't let things affect her peace, her inner peace. And she had this kindness and sweetness about herself. And she is telling me that she's talking about the grandkids and you, and that she loved like palling around with you, and you two were the best of friends. You two were. I feel it was on again, off again. Like there was a certain point in time where maybe you were not as close, but you then grew to be close? And it's almost like you helped your mom as much as your mom helped you. It was very symbiotic. It was like she was learning even in her later years, um, as much as you were. So you two helped each other along the way. Does that make sense, Cynthia?
I was also getting something with her hair. I'm not sure if she was a very well put together woman. Well, she held herself well. She had a nice sense of decorum. So outwardly, you could not tell if she was frustrated or concerned or upset. But I keep wanting to do this. It's like there was something with her hair, and it's not a hat, but it's something with her hair, and I don't know if her hair was thinning or anything like that, but she held herself well, and a good message a good message is for her is to remember that how you carry yourself tells people how to treat you. If you hold yourself in high esteem and with a great deal of respect, you people will give that to you. That's what you expect, and do not accept anything less than that. So I'm getting warm with saying that. So
Oh, wow.
it's like, okay.
She would touch her hair like that when she was thinking.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
there you go. That's great. But I love this idea of is this you tell people how to respect you, how to interact with you. So hold yourself in high respect. And she always was learning, like you said, Jean. She didn't do everything right, but when she made a mistake, she had to process it, and then she, in a subtle way, owned it and took it on board and learned from it. So
So, Mark, how?
Yeah. Hi, Cynthia. One thing I'm going to ask you, I don't know, she seems to be thinking or commenting that maybe you've been concerned about money or finances a little bit. And if that's true, she's like looking over that. She says, don't worry. There's more coming your way. So I don't know if you've been thinking about that or not, but she says, just keep focused on abundance, not lack, if that makes sense. She also is saying that she has been communicating from the other side. Now I wonder, maybe you've not been getting it completely, but she has been coming down. Here's the chariot, but like here it comes through space. So like coming from heaven with greetings and communications. It's the Ace of Swords. So like, communicating with you. Fiery communication from spirit. So she wants you to know that. And I feel like there might have been a time or two you thought, oh, I felt mom's. Okay, that's the thing about the money situation. She sees you thinking about that. There might have been a time or two you thought, oh, I felt like that was mom. She says, it was me. It's me, my energy. I'm still around you. Also, Cynthia, do you have children? Because I feel like we might be talking about your mom's grandchildren, if that's a thing. Yes, one son. Okay. She watches him from heaven, but she kind of misses that's one thing she misses, is to be with him a while longer. She wouldn't have minded, to to be right there. It's interesting because I got the Six of Cups, but in this one, look, it gives you a lot of grandparent energy over there. There's like grandparents sitting watching the kids. And that makes me feel like, that was what I thought. Oh yeah, your grandkids. And she watches over them too. She wants you not to worry about money. And she just says, keep focusing on a positive outcome. Like from that side, I think you get a lot clearer on how important it is to stay positively focused as possible on the earth to get good results. So this is the Five of Cups. But look, here's this hooded figure holding out the 2 full cups. Like, no, take the full cups. Don't be focused down on these empty cups. Focus in on this. That you never know where money or abundance can come from. All right, that's all I'm getting. Oh, and also the Knight of Pentacles to go along with that money coming. Like,
Beautiful. Yeah. That was wonderful, Mark. That's amazing that you picked up on that. And your mom just wants you to know that she's okay, that she's very well. She's at peace and she's in so much joy. And she is very much connected to you. And she knows that of your concerns and worries. And she wants you to know too that she's available to you. And I do feel as though you pray, you say prayers, and you ask her for help. She says she does hear your prayers. So she just wants you to know that she's still there, or she is there for you, and that she is watching out for you and the family. But she's just so sweet. She's like just really polite and really peaceful. I just love her energy. Beautiful energy. What a beautiful mom.
Yes.
And she says, wonderful reading. Thank you all very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I have KB next. And after KB is Bethany Bonk. So Bethany, if you're still here, just say hello. And KB would like a message from Hulda, her grandmother. And Bethany, I see you. Thank you. So I feel like Hulda is, was she spiritual? Was she not psychic, but had good instincts and would tell you, about your friends, or did she like to make her own concoctions? She's telling me that she's in the biz somehow. Like she dipped her hands in the biz that she was, and she's saying it was natural. It was part of the fabric in her day to be resourceful and have natural remedies. And it wasn't so, it wasn't so different in her day. Her nickname was Hap. Okay. Does that make sense? Was she spiritual, or was she like a little bit psychics, or always had like good intuition? If she was, she kept it to herself. Okay, good. She was a good cook and a good elementary teacher. Okay, try not to tell us too much. But thank you. She's telling me that she likes what we're doing here, and she's saying I could do that too. She's just saying that she did. She's saying that she had good intuitions, and she's saying she's very much like engaged and wants to be in with whatever is going on, and she's very not open, but she's very engaging and likes to sort of wants to find out about whatever is the newest thing. And she had an insatiable thirst for learning and discovering, and she was always like a kid at heart. And I think this is what made her a good teacher, now that you told me a teacher. But she just feels like very much a kid at heart, and very much intuitive and inquisitive. because she's coming through and she's saying, I could do that. Like she's just really engaging. And she's very much a very authentic spirit. And but she's a very authentic person, I think, from the moment that you were born till the moment that she passed. She was always, she didn't like play roles. She was just herself. She didn't like conform to the age that you should be or the way that you should be. She was very much an independent and authentic type person, is what I'm getting. How about you guys?
I was actually I got a bit of pressure in my forehead here, so I'm curious about that. And it sort of goes with what you were saying, Jean. She had this connection, and if she was an educator, it would make absolute sense that the other thing that she said is she liked being with kids because she was also curious. She was always one to like want to take something apart and then put it back together to see how it worked. She had this natural curiosity. The advice that she wants to give you is to write it down. It's like write it down like it's a math problem and then figure out what the missing pieces are so that you can answer it. Because if you're trying to do all of this in your head, it's overwhelming. So there's this beauty of writing it down and then taking it step by step. Step by step. She keeps, she's step by step. Sometimes you're wanting to go faster than what is the best option. Slow down, write it down, look at it step by step, and know the order in which to do things. For some reason, she's using math for me. So KB, and I'm not a math person, but that's okay. So she's like going, there are ways to be able to do this in order, and it'll make itself known. So that's what I have for you, KB. She's a neat lady.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Neat lady. I mean, she's the one who would be probably if she was playing a game with you as a child, she wouldn't let you win. She would win. And then you'd start again. So
Okay. Are you thinking about making a change or a move or a shift or something like that? Like a new direction? Could it be a new job or something? Or you're wishing for something new and you're kind of wondering what's the holdup, like that? She says your impulse is right on. She wants to remind you to stay connected to your, your divine self, your spirit, to work with that in a partnership. That's what inspires you to move further. It feels like you've been kind of trying to make need a retirement job. Okay. Yeah, you're looking for that and feeling like maybe there's not that. But she says, work with spirit. I would go to the creator and say, could you help me create this? That's what she seems to be wanting to remind you of. She also says, count your blessings. I don't know why she wants to say that, because you are blessed and you are watched over. Don't worry. Be patient. I know you already said you don't have any patience, but she wanted to say patience again. There's temperance. But, the sun is the final card. So everything will work out. So, that feels like that's the advice she wanted to give you. Like, yep, we're about to make a change. We're about to move. So that would be like into retirement. Here we go. And what am I going to do now? And she says, just stay focused on your connection to spirit. So here's the Queen of Wands. That to me would be like, in one way, because I think of wands as spirit body. So that would be hinting at the creator as Mother Earth, this queen, the female version of spirit. She says, tune into that. That will, make sure you're successful. There they are. Yay! They will give the inspiration. There's an Ace of Wands. Where to put your energy and what to focus on. So I feel like the universe is already trying to direct something to you. Just breathe and allow yourself to see it. Everything's going to work out. She says, try not to worry. She does say, count your blessings, because I get a 9 of Pentacles and a 9 of Cups. But things could be worse. You're not, you're not destitute or anything. So she's like that. But she watches over you. But she really wants, probably one of the reasons you come to a channel like this is because of your connection to spirit. So she just really wants to emphasize that, keep working with that, like specifically to go ahead and make this transition as smoothly as possible. Because in my retirement, I'm steadily busier than ever. So you just never know how that might work. So,
KB, I did feel when Mark was saying to count your blessings that your mom, I'm sorry, your grandmother was saying to count your blessings, because it is really focus on what you want, not what you don't want, with both of these gentlemen say all the time. And it's also, things are not as bad as it seems when you count your blessings. Like, why worry about the worst case scenario? And try not to think of the catastrophes, not to think of them, but really be in the moment of what is abundant in your life, and to focus on that. And I feel as though that your grandmother is also telling you this, that it's not so bad, Kay. Don't despair. She wants you to have hope, and things are going to get better. Your grandmother has such a vision for you that it's almost like this is all a waste of time to worry about this. Things are going to be fine. She just wants to reassure you. And this is what I'm feeling from her. So and she said to be grateful and get out of your own way. It really does help. And it's important to have, be mindful and watch what's coming up and watch what's going on around you. But it's also really important to have, that hope and that trust.
Also, because she was saying, write stuff down, to which Kay said, oh, she knows that I'm not patient. Maybe a gratitude journal or a dream journal is something that she's suggesting for you. That's a different layer, but definitely if you're struggling thinking about a problem, she keeps saying, write it down, treat it like a math problem. You're smart, just block it down. She's like, you're smart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one more sentence about the old count your blessings. She's just saying, the universe has always had your back. You can tell that when you look over your history, if you review. And she goes, and it's not going to stop now. That's kind of that message about the count your blessings. If you look, you see the universe has had your back. And it's not going to abandon you at this point. So just keep that connection, is what she wants to tell you.
Beautiful. Wow. Good job. Good job. What a beautiful woman. So next is Bethany. And Bethany, just say hello once again. I saw you earlier. And after Bethany is Tim. So Bethany and then Tim. And guys, we're doing such a great job together. We want to make sure we try and get to as many as possible. Yet we want to make sure we bring through the developed and enriched messages that are coming through to all of us from the other side. Thank you, Bethany. And Tim, you're next. I forgot your last name. It's a short last name.
Myers.
Yes, Tim Myers. Yeah. So Bethany is here, and she would like to get a message from her dad, Thomas. You're welcome, KB.
I have to start with this because as soon as you said Bethany Bonk and her father, Thomas Bonk, he showed me that he hit his finger with a hammer. And so he wanted, and so I have to say that because he keeps hitting his finger with a hammer, and it was sort of an accident, but it was sort of an accident. It just didn't. Yeah, it's just like she'll understand what that means. So there you go. We'll do that so then I can move through. So
Wonderful, Gerald. I love that. I love that. The first thing that comes through, and Bethany saying yes. Wow.
okay,
You know, they're trying to like burst through. They're trying to come through and break through and communicate with us. And for Gerald to be open to that image, and it's so random and so brave. Why would anybody say that? But he has to say, because that's what your father is making him feel, so that you'll know it's him. Like what is this identifying once in a lifetime? And nobody else would ever, or hardly anybody else would ever imagine something like that. But he's talking to you about this.
and
That's amazing. He wants you to know he's here, Bethany. And I think that you may have been hoping and praying and wondering, Dad, can you hear us? Can you come through for us? And you're wondering, is he aware of what's going on in my life? And you want to communicate with him, and you want to hear his advice. Yet it is extremely emotional for you as well. I feel like there was not a tragedy, but there was some tragic situations towards the end of his life that you maybe not have forgiven yourself for. And he wants you to know that all of the decisions that you made were the right decisions, that everything happened as it was meant to happen, that if there was any kind of a medication mix up or a misdiagnosis or a surgery that didn't go as expected, whatever it was, and if you feel as though you had a hand in making these decisions, he's letting you know not to take responsibility, that everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. And he wants you to let go of the burden or regret that you may have. He is okay. He is more than okay. He is in his original joyous, loving, light body kind of essence, and he is still very much himself. He is witty. He is very caring, and I think that maybe he was saying that towards the end he may have not have been a little confused about what might be going on, or maybe things, there was some sort of confusion towards the end. He's telling me, I don't know if he was confused, the doctors were confused, something with the confusion, and it was like it wasn't like we knew the time was coming, we knew that he was going to pass, and it was a tragedy almost, or trauma that was around that. Does that make sense, Bethany? I just want to make sure I am still with you.
she said yes.
Okay. Okay, good. Thanks. I mean, not good, but I just want to make sure, because he's coming through, like he wants to reassure you that he is fine, he is well, he is at peace, he is with his other loved ones, and that he is listening to you, and he feels your heart. He feels the pain in your. He's making me grab like the upper part of my stomach, like above my belly button. I don't know if you have pain in your stomach, or like anxiety or something that you worry or it bothers you. And he just wants you to know that everything is okay. And he wants you to try and let go of any of these things that you're judging yourself about. And and the more that you can relax and open up, he'll be there, and you can hear his words. You do feel as though you see him or hear him. I don't know if you had a dream about him or a visitation, and you're doubting. You're like, Oh, that was just a dream. No, he's saying, it's me. It's me. Just, sort of relax and calm down. And you were with him
with his last
with
breath.
his last breath. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bethany. He knows, and he appreciates everything that you did for him. And he just wants you to know to try and, you rest peacefully. He is resting peacefully, and he needs you to rest peacefully. Oh, and she sees him. She sees him around.
I
Wow.
have to
Good.
say, when you verified that you understood the hitting his finger with a hammer, there was a great deal of emotion about this. That it's like, oh, you get it, and I'm still feeling that. So there's this just overwhelming relief, and this great sense of connection. So yeah, but he's so, I mean, my eyes are welling up just because it's like, whew. So Mark, what do you have?
Okay. Bethany. Well, I don't know. Lately when I've been doing like readings from people on the other side, they do kind of point out about what's going on the earth currently, and that they realize it's maybe not that it's an unusual time, and it's chaotic and unstable. So he kind of brings that through because, again, I don't know, maybe there's some concern or worry about savings or money, or maybe money that he left or something. A little bit of worry about that. He sees that's going on. I don't know if it's about his savings or about a retirement or something. He's focused on that and watch it. Like, I think when he was here, he was like your typical dad, or what we think of. He did what he was supposed to. He was, I'm going to say the breadwinner, and that kind of thing. Correct me if that's not right. He wants to tell you, though, he knows you can see through the distraction, lies, and fear. And he says that's a good thing, and don't let go of that. So, again, I got these 2 wand cards, and they're using the old wands as your spirit mate, your spirit part, because wands do represent spirit body. But in both times, it's got this lady hanging with her hand firmly gripped to to a wand. So keeping one hand attached to your spirit, to stay clear and balanced, so that you know what's true and what's not. So here's the 7 of Cups, that illusion and delusion. He says you can see through it. He also says, don't, the way things look now aren't the way they're going. Things are going to still shift. He's still talking about money and finances. So he says, don't fall into the fear and worry. So this is the 9 of Swords. Normally, you're up and you're in the bed and it's like you're having bad dreams and nightmares. But this, look, they put them all down on the ground with candles around them, and it's upside down. He says, don't go there. Don't go there. That's kind of a message I get for all of us. Chaos isn't for me. I'm not going to get involved in it, kind of a thing. In the end, though, he says, security will return as far as like money and finances go. So there's that. He wants you to know that he's watching over you. In the end, house and home and everything will be okay. Spirit's kind of got our back. Now I'm going to say 2 other kind of weird things, and I don't know if it's at all true. One thing, this is probably just me, but he's saying the family had a little inside something about your last name. Is that true? Like mom and dad bonk and the little bonks or something? There was some kind of a, we played around with that. I don't know. That maybe not true. The other thing I want to ask is, did he have a dog, or did you guys have a dog, and did he like dogs? I'm wondering about that. Because I feel like he has a dog on the other side with him. I don't know if there was a family dog or something. This is kind of the image he gives me on the other side. He was kind of a strong male presence, in charge. He feels like when he got on the other side, he felt pretty good about what he did and how he performed on the earth. Okay. Because normally, I'd see that and I go, okay, I wouldn't even mention that, but it just kept pointing to the dog. So I think he wanted to say, my dog's with me. I have my dog over here. And it could be more than one. But you don't really ever have a dog in the King of Swords. This is a wolf, but it's a different depiction of King of Swords. That King of Swords seems like your dad, though. Mm-hmm. But he just wanted to let you know that on the other side, he's still got his dog. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Good job, Thomas. Good job. Man, he came right through for you there, Bethany, and lots of emotion, lots of intensity coming through with your dad, Thomas. And thank you very much for all the feedback. We know it's not easy to type and to listen and to be and to have those feelings all together at the same time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate all of the feedback. Wow. Oof, 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 oof. Thanks, Daddy-O. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate y'all. You're welcome, Bethany. Wow. Wow. He came through. And the way he came through with that thumb, the hitting on the thumb.
That was just like good. I'm laughing because I'm like, do I need to use a hammer today? Because I don't want to. I don't want to, but yeah.
Time to get out those tools.
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Oof. All right. I just want to make some space in between. Thanks again, Bethany, for sharing your dad with us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Tim Myers is here, and Tim says, does my dad, Paul, have a message for Mom and me? Thanks, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Paul. Thanks, Tim. How are you feeling, Tim? Okay, let's see here.
I see your dad wearing like a button-up shirt or a button-down shirt, whatever you call it. And I feel him almost like maybe being a little more particular with how he looks. And he had like a certain style that he wore all the time. Like 30 years could go by and he would still wear sort of a similar style. He was he just wants you to know that he's still in touch with your mom. He's still in. I feel like your mom is having dreams of your dad, and he is very much watching over her. He is engaged, and he's saying that he's waiting for her. He says, "Your mom and I are attached at the hip. We come as a pair." And we will continue on as a pair. That they are lovers, not lovers, but love souls that are connected through unconditional love and that are destined to be together. I feel as though your mom and dad may have had a heated or a fiery kind of a relationship. They loved one another very, very much, but boy, when they had their fights, it was knock down, drag out fights. Like it was intense in both situations. But they loved each other, but they would be at each other at odds as well. Um, and your dad wants you to know that through it all, he always loved your mother and always will. And to not worry about some of the disagreements, or maybe there was like some sort of a riff that happened. I don't know if maybe when he wasn't feeling well, or maybe towards the end that he was not quite himself, or he was getting ornery or saying things. And he wants you to know that that um, uh, underlying he always, and your mom is his one and only, and that she is the most precious thing and the best thing about his life and his kids. But he's saying that he loved and adored your mom. um, he was a hard worker. I feel like he did pass younger than expected. I feel like he had more years to live, but something took him. And I do feel it's around the chest, which is, typical for men, but I'm not sure if it's the heart, or if it's the lungs, or if it's a combination of. And your dad was very passionate. I don't know that he shared so much, but when I feel like he was boisterous, and sort of um, would say, turn down that TV or whatever. But it was just, that's the way he was. And he wouldn't like open up about his own feelings or his own thoughts, or if something hurt him, it was really hard for him to come out with that. Um, so your mom had to almost not dance around, but guess whether he was upset or not. Like your dad was a little more passive aggressive, but he's just showing me this dynamic just for validation. But he wants you to know, he underneath it all, it was all there. All of it was out of love. All of it was surrounded by love and carried with love. That just because the dynamics were one way or another doesn't mean the love wasn't there. And he just wants to reassure you that he loves you. He loves you for taking care of his wife, his love, your mother, for all of the things that you did for him and all of the things that you do. He's saying he loves your heart and your ability to be sensitive as well, and your ability to speak your own mind, because he was never able to. So I'm just going to stop there, you guys, and let you guys pick.
Yeah. Do you want to go, Mark?
Okay. Uh, well, first of all, like, he's confirming that he and your mom talk. It goes back and forth. Like, he messages from heaven. Here we are, wands. This is the three of wands, which could be like waiting for your ship to come in. But look, it's like waiting for a message. And here it comes flying in. And then she sends one back. So this seems like, back and forth. I think she would say, yeah, I talk to him, or he talks to me, or something like that. And I see him, in dreams, things like that. So he's confirming that they have it kind of going on as far as that goes. But he does say he also calls out to you. So now we got the Page of Wands. So this is interesting. This is why I always change decks, because the pictures, will tell me a different story, even though it's the same card. But see how she's sending the message out, and there he goes flying. And this one, he's sending the messages to the birds, but they're waiting to fly. So he says, I keep reaching out. I want you to know that I am. So if you think it's him, right? We got birds twice, too. So I'm wondering if he sends you a bird, maybe. I don't know about that. But he is communing with you, too. Like, he sends you messages. He watches over you. He watches over his children from the other side. Now, this part of the message seems to be a little more directed to you, Tim. He says, right now, you're sort of in a pause. Birds. Cardinal feather. There's a little cardinal on that tree.
Yep.
With the blue jay, the cardinal's in the middle. Oh, that gave me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you guys say, Mark, why do you change decks all the time? That's why. Because, they want that picture to come up.
Yep.
From, instead of another page of wands, it would have no birds in it, no nothing like that. It wouldn't be completely different depiction. Yeah. So, but he sees you kind of being stuck a little bit. But this is the hangman. But, it's kind of like you're tied to a bed a little bit. He says it's necessary. You got to focus on you. We got to focus on health. So here's 4 of Pentacles. In this case, it's about health, I think. We're looking at that. So we need to focus on that. We need to kind of get through this and get better on the other side of it. He says, though, what will help, besides just, like normal, like medicine or something, is that right now, you got to tie yourself to your spirit. Now, this is the 2 of Wands in this card. Never ever saw the wands tied to somebody before. And again, he's got that little bird in his hand. What's with all the birds and the wands? But, you got to stay attached to your spirit during this time, right? Even more than ever before. Keep your focus on the lights, not on the crisscrossy, daggers. Again, that's like putting the nightmare, the fear, the bad dreams down and focus on the light instead. This is an interesting version of this 9 of Wands, because you always see them displayed up, like usually the person's in bed dreaming. This one is like, no, I'm going to put light around it to dispel the nightmare. So I like all that. And keep focused on what you want, not what you don't want. So there's the star card. Wish upon a star. He's watching out over you, so don't think he isn't. He knows what's going on. He's helping with patience, balance. That also would head to health, feeling good, that kind of thing. All right. I love these cards today. They're doing great.
Excellent.
Tim, the first thing I got when I saw that we were reading for your dad, Paul, was I saw somebody who was actually eating miniature donuts that are covered in powdered sugar really quickly so that nobody sees them doing it. It's sort of like doing this. It's like sneaking in these snacks. It's sort of like, and then, and then he's smiling, but he doesn't wipe his mouth off. So everybody knows exactly what's going on. This was a very clear image, and it was funny. So I don't know if he had something going on with his blood sugar or if he just like enjoyed eating these white powdered donuts, the mini donuts. So, and he keeps doing that. It's quite hilarious. And he's the message that I have for both of you is get the stuff out that is inside of you so that you can release it. So there's more room for the love. If you hold on to it, it's just going to. His favorite is the mini donuts with the powdered sugar. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, Paul.
Gerald.
So, but he's saying, it's like Jean was saying, I had to buy them all the time. Okay, well, you might want to get one and put one out with a cup of coffee in honor of him. Something like that. that could be really powerful. But he's, the idea that your mom and dad would get into a heated argument. Part of it is once it was done, they were done with it. And so there's this really clear message that you, I think in particular, you've got some stuff that's festering away, and he's telling you to get it out, let it go, release it. Because if you don't, there is, release it so there is room for the love. So that's what I got.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Paul did a triple whammy for us tonight here, guys. He came through to all of us with bells and whistles for sure. And he wants to reassure you, Tim, that he hears you. He knows he's crying right now. Yep. 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 I hear you. I hear you, Tim. And this is you're wondering, does he hear me? Does he know? Does he see? Does he, and this is him just shouting from the rooftops that yes, he sees you, he hears you, and you are in communication with him.
Yep.
And that I'm getting chills head to toe. He's an amazingly strong soul individual, a really good communicator. And you can maybe you can write a letter and maybe communicate with him. He's really very strong on the other side and very wise, and he has everything it takes to come in through with us. But we have opened this portal today, you guys, with all three of us. To allow your loved ones to come through. And it's not just me raising my consciousness. It's these gentlemen raising their consciousness. All of us opening ourselves up and allowing for the most important information that is in your highest good to come through. And it's all of you here that are here supporting everybody. And he said he misses Daddy.
Of course.
And supporting all of us, all of you here holding this space, all of this energy together is what helps to make this possible. It's really such a beautiful display of love, of proof that we don't die, that we live on. There is no, the opposite of the opposite of death is not life, or the opposite. I don't know. I have to go back to my thing. But they say it's not, death is not the opposite of life. Death is the opposite of birth. Life continues on. Life is always a constant and a consistent, it always continues on. So the love and the connection and that you have with your loved ones on the other side is alive and is everlasting. And it is not severed. It is not gone away. They are really, and especially now with the energies that are changing and the frequencies here on Earth and the way that humanity is waking up to all of this, they're able to come in and to communicate with all of us just a little bit more. And do you have anything more to say there, Gerald or Mark?
About this reading or in general?
In general, about our
I
loved
want to
ones.
say one quick thing about that first reading we did when I was like, what? I'm not, beep, beep, boop. It felt weird, and because they usually always come and say something. She did say something like, I'm doing something else. And then I wondered, how long has she been gone? So I just want to say that I kind of get the feeling that maybe that grandmother was already looking at the idea of reincarnating or something. Like she was. So I'm just going to throw that out there because ever since it's been working on my brain, ever since we had. And I'm going, what were you trying to So anyway, I just want to throw that out because that seemed like it wasn't that she didn't want to talk to me. It was like, I'm kind of in the process of moving to the next thing. Anyway, so maybe that's why when I first called on her, it was like she was way over there. So that's just me and the way I receive stuff, doesn't mean that's the way everybody does. But she seemed far away and I couldn't get her to come closer. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that in case it means anything to anybody.
I think it's also important for us to realize that um, all of the energy is shifting, and what we can do is we have to be willing to shift our energy to attract what we want, so that in the times of struggle, when we're feeling alone, we're feeling separated, we're not finding the joy, we're being really hard on ourselves, we have to try something different. There's a whole lot of reset going on. And, who likes a reset? Who likes to have to relearn how to do something that you know? I don't. I imagine you don't either. But it's almost like it's take a nap, do your own reset. Restart yourself. And sometimes you do that once and you're fine. Sometimes you do it 2-3 times a day. Do it with intention, and it's really going to help, because we're all learning how to do a lot of new things. And with the energy that was shared here, I mean, take that and propel it forward. I love that.
Yeah, and about life being everlasting and not death not being an ending, it's just a transition. It's interesting to me because on my animal day and the animal, do a lot of animal readings, but it's been about reincarnation so much more than I ever thought it would be. Like 40 years ago when I started it, it came up for me, but I didn't really hear other people ever asking about it, or it wasn't a thing. Now it's so often. But part of it, I think, is the animals' attempt to help show us that life's not an ending. Look, I came right back. And if you've had that experience in your life, they go overboard kind of proving it to you. So somebody else might not get it.
Yeah.
But you, the person who had them before, you get it. So I'm just, that just clicked when Jean was talking about that, about how that all, in a way, the animal kingdom is trying to help us realize that. And our minds are opening more and more so that we can even consider such a thing, especially of us in the Western world, which we weren't really brought up with reincarnation in general. So, our minds, but now everybody's so ready to hear the message, it's really different for me. And I love it. I see the change in human mind. And then the animals are just jumping on that opportunity. It's like, yeah, I was waiting for my turn because I wanted to show you I'm coming. I don't know. That got me all excited about that anyway.
I think it's beautiful. And I think that Carol appreciated that thought or that sentiment with her grandmother.
Good.
It gave her peace, and she said she loves that, but I can't find it.
I saw it when
Here she is.
That.
Yeah.
I'm glad she saw that she was still here, because I got to say this for some reason. Sometimes you don't say something and then it just bugs you and bugs you and bugs you. Like they won't let it go. So.
I've never done anything like that.
Oh no.
All the time.
It was kind of like with the dog, and that one dad is going, talk about the dog, talk about the dog. I'm going, okay, whatever.
So Tim says he asked his angel to send him a red bird feather, and it was my dad who told me he found a red bird feather and left it on the kitchen table for me. My guardian angel used my father to help. Aw.
Love that. Now, why in the world would I get that card, that spiritual message card with the little red birds? That's not me. That's spirit.
Yep.
And the magical tarot cards too, because they can tell stories.
Yep, cool. Absolutely.
I'm so glad you asked your question today.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here together, and thank you, Gerald and Mark, for being here together with me here. Thank you. It was quite impactful, just beautiful. And guys, do you want to? Where will you be next, Mark?
Let's see. Today's Friday. Next thing I'm doing is my Ask Anything Day show tomorrow at 4:00, and that's where you guys who keep asking, you can ask political questions on that show or current events. If you can ask those kinds of things. So that's tomorrow at 4:00.
Wonderful. And Gerald, you did say earlier, but where will you be next?
I'll be with the Cool Crone Oracle tonight, which is Friday night, and then I've got really good shows coming up next week. So do subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely. Please do subscribe to all of our channels. I do have a banner there somewhere that says that. And I will be with Terry Lee and Terry Suzuki for our Psychic Triad.
Yeah.
And that's at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
Say hi to Terry Suzuki for me because I haven't seen her.
I know, right? We should do like a group. Let's do like a 10 person thing and get together and collaborate. I thank you everybody for liking, sharing, and subscribing to all of our channels.
Is that a tiger eye necklace you have on?
Yes.
Oh, I thought so. It's so gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you.
You're trying to compete with me in my necklaces now.
No one can compete with you, Mark. No one will try.
I love tiger eye. That's a pretty fabulous necklace, though, I got to say.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.